Well, hello friends. I'd like to welcome you to my channel, Pat's Garden Life. Today, friends, I am participating in two open collaborations. I'm participating in Garden Tour Saturday, that's hosted by Grandma Sandy. All you have to do to participate in that open collaboration is to show your garden. Doesn't matter if it's a big garden, a small garden, something that you're growing in a couple of pots. We just want to share your experience with you. The second open collaboration is called hashtag Let's Share Our Plant Success or Disaster Stories. That's hosted by Janita, and her channel is called Janita's BF Well Wishes Gardening. To participate in this open collaboration, all you have to do is share a story about a plant. You know, sometimes things go good, sometimes they go bad. So yeah, we just want to hear a story and see what you have going on in your garden. Well, friends, when I say open collaboration, that means anyone can join. You don't need a special invitation. All you need to do is be for sure you put the hashtags in the description boxes so we can find your video. Be for sure that you check out my description box, because I do have everyone that participated that I found last week. If I didn't find you last week, let me know in the comments and I'll come right over and check you out. Well, friends, you just saw me clearing a pathway in the garden. The grapevines are just doing whatever they want to, as well as growing grapes. Let's turn the camera around, friends, and let's see what I have going on. So come on, friends, let's get to this. When I talk about grapevines getting away from me, look at that. That one's gone all the way up there. I have this one that's gone into the tree, and I don't even know if you can see, there are some grapes over there. So I'm not going to cut that back yet, but I have lots of grapes here. The vines are just so heavy. I'm not too sure when it's safe for me to pick these, because I have a feeling that if I let them get ripe, the birds and the squirrels will get them before I do. We're moving on down to the persimmon tree that's on this side. Yeah, I've got lots of persimmons. We had some warmer weather today, or the last couple of days. And now we're down where the guava is. Got lots of guavas on this tree too. This is the backside that you don't generally see. Look how big some of these are getting. If you hear a dragging noise, I am dragging my barrel with me, where I put the clippings and stuff. I think we have lost a grape. With this grapevine, I'm not having any success this summer. Fine. I'm not too sure what happened. It doesn't look like the gophers ate it from the bottom. It just isn't doing so well. So I don't know. I'll probably give it a hard cut in the fall, and we'll just see what happens with it. I definitely have a lot of guavas on this tree. I always like to look at the flowers. Aren't those just beautiful? Lots of fruit coming here. We're going to walk down the aisle here and take a little look at what I've got going on. This is a volunteer Ijodo. We don't have very many of those out. I put a little bit of mulch, some dry grass, that I had cut. I put that in the middle on the limas, so they can kind of have a little extra moisture in there. And look at this, we might be having some more cucumbers. I have some green beans I need to pick. More green beans. I have gotten rid of most of these zucchinis that was here. They were done, and I was done with the powdery mildew drama. But I still have green beans here. We're getting close to them being done too. You can see the little leaves are starting to turn. And we've had warm weather, and so a lot of the tomatoes have decided we are just going to get ripe all at once. These aren't the small ones. I still have lots of big ones. These are all big ones. The cherry ones I planted myself, so. Yeah, got a lot going on in that bed. I'll have to come out here and pick some of these. Here's a look at Quiet's corn. It's growing nicely. You can see that bare spot in there. The gophers have been busy. Sorry, friends. I don't know what we've got going on out front. There's a firehouse that's not too far from my house, so. And we're just leaving these collard greens, these greens out here. They're a nice distraction for anything that wants to eat. So yeah, enjoy. I finished putting some dry leaves and stuff around these two little pumpkins. They've been without. And then here's our flowers. The circle is still intact, but I did plant some sunflowers. You hear those birds? I don't know what they're doing. They must be having a bird party. I need to deadhead this a little bit. Here's the elude. We're going to have seeds here. Aren't they pretty? The flowers. All the bird noise is coming from over the fence. The birds must have a nest or something in there. That's the neighbor's bougainvillea. Did I get that right? Yeah, bougainvillea with the big thorns. I did some work over on this part of the bed. This runs all the way down the sidewalk there. I did some weeding. I still need to remove some of this old rose bush here. Still need to do some cutting back for the hydrangeas. Yeah. I thought you might like to see my little cool tunnel. This is a cool tunnel when it gets hot. And look, there's grapes hanging here. Yeah. Here's a bunch of grapes we were looking at from when we were inside the other side of the fence. Look at that. Don't those look good? This fall, I will need to cut this grapevine and pull these vines out of here so they won't be up in the trees like this. But believe it or not, I think they're happier here in the tree than they are on the fence. Very interesting. Well, friends, that's all I have for today. I want to thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I want to thank everyone who participates and the co-host. And yeah, that's all I have for today. So I think it's time for me to say bye. So bye-bye, friends. Bye. Happy Saturday.